Today we're going to take a look at the class of 2018. The class of 2018, probably many of our followers came on board this year. I know we had a lot of folks follow our bears in 2018. So very excited today to share all those bears of the class of 2018 with you. The first bear that was admitted was bear number 267, named April, admitted on April the 2nd, 2018. I've told you in the past that many times, unless it's an unusual year, it is often the first weekend in April when we get our first bear. At least the years since I've been here, that's happened several times. But 267 was a 68-pound female yearling, so a very healthy yearling, hit by a car in Sevier County, Tennessee. She had several broken ribs, an injured front leg, and a pneumothorax. And she also had some mites that resulted in some fur loss around her face that had to be taken care of. So quite a painful recovery. And she recovered here at ABR, spent some time in our recovery center, and fully recovered from all of that, and was released in early June weighing 102 pounds. Bear number 268, Clementine, was a favorite of a lot of folks, was admitted at the end of April 2018. She was separated from her mother when she fell in rushing water in the Nolichucky River in Unicoi County, Tennessee. And she managed to pull herself up out of the river, but she climbed way up in a tree, about 50, 60 feet up in a tree, and was sort of stuck there. And there was a tree service professional who climbed the tree to free her and got her down. So quite a dramatic rescue. She was a very playful bear while she was here at ABR. And then sadly, she was found dead in her enclosure in July 2018, presumably from a fall. We don't know definitely that that's what happened, but that's what was thought to have happened. So very sad that she managed to get out of the Nolichucky River, climbed that tree, and then passed away. But there are sad stories here in Bear Rescue, and if you've been following the history, you know that there have been many sad stories over the year, and this was one that a lot of people felt the loss of this little bear. She was a favorite. Bear number 269 was admitted May the 11th, 2018. She was found on the side of a road in Floyd County, Kentucky, weighing 4 pounds, and she had these unique shaped ears. It's like her ears weren't rounded, they were squared off, and you can see in this picture, they really stand out in this picture. And then she also had a really horrific gaping wound on the back of her neck. So it could have been possible by some sort of predator, a dog, a coyote had gotten a hold of her, but she had managed to survive from being orphaned, managed to survive being underweight and starved, and then managed to survive whatever it was that caused the wound on the back of her neck, and made it to ABR. She was particularly a favorite because she loved to grab onto the swingy ball in her acclimation pen, and then later in the enclosure, and would lift her feet up off the ground and swing back and forth like a wrecking ball, if you're familiar with the song. And so she was quite a comical cub, and another favorite that was here in 2018. Viola was released back in Kentucky in December 2018, weighing 77 pounds. Bear number 270, Magnolia, was admitted May the 21st, 2018. She was a female yearling found alone in Rapides Parish in Louisiana, weighing only 21 pounds. She'd been feeding on corn that's placed out for trapping wild hogs. She was one of the things that's memorable about her that I remember is that she always drank from her swimming pool, but would sit in and bathe in her drinking tub. I don't know that I ever really saw her swim in her swimming pool. She seemed to drink out of that and then just sit in her drinking tub. She was also a destroyer of multiple swinging balls. She liked to destroy those, very playful bear. And she weighed 80 pounds when she was released back in Louisiana. And you can see that she was just a beautiful, beautiful bear. Bear number 271, Bumblebee, was admitted May 31st, 2018. He was a 23-pound yearling that was found hanging around the old Smoky Candy Kitchen factory in Sevier County, Tennessee. And as this was late in May, it is possible that family breakup had just occurred and he was struggling, as we see some of the yearlings often do. He was very thin, just scruffy, had a distended stomach from parasites, but he recovered and became a handsome bear who enjoyed just relaxing swims in his pool and just enjoyed relaxing by his pool. Very, very handsome bear, and I will have to say of 2018, he was probably one of my favorites. He weighed 106 pounds when he was released back to the wild. Bear number 272, Willow, was admitted June the 5th, 2018. She and her sibling were hit by a car in Cocke County, Tennessee. Her sibling died, and there was no sign of the mother around, which left this little 8-pound female an orphan. Initially, she was unconscious and really wasn't expected to live, but then she surprised the vets and the curators when she just suddenly stood up. She spent some time in the recovery center, and she recovered fully from her injuries and weighed 82 pounds when she was released. Bear number 273, Bosco, was admitted July 18th, 2018. He was orphaned in Johnson County, Tennessee, and weighed only 17 pounds. He shared an enclosure with Viola, Willow, Rough Tumble, and Cherry while here at ABR, forming what we called that year the six-pack. He weighed 75 pounds when he was released back to the wild in mid-December, and Bosco was a very handsome bear, as you can see from the picture. The next three siblings came in. They were orphaned when their mother had to be relocated due to being food conditioned and just becoming bolder in her efforts to find food in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And there had been people intentionally feeding the family. The brothers weighed 29 pounds. That would be Bear 274, Rough, and then his brother Tumble, 275, weighed 19 pounds. They arrived together on August the 7th, but it was 4 days later that their sister, Cherry, 21 pounds, was captured. The siblings were very bonded, and although they interacted with the other members of the six-pack, you could almost always find particularly the brothers together and the sister in there as well. They were all released together in December, weighing 74, 72, and 74 pounds. Cute little cubs. Bear number 277 arrived on August the 15th from Kentucky, weighing just 13 pounds. The 6-month-old cub had been separated from her mother and had been alone for quite some time. She was injured by the dart during her rescue. When she was darted, she moved and it punctured her intestines, which required surgery. And the Kentucky officer did a wonderful job getting her immediately and very quickly to the University of Tennessee and getting her surgery. She recovered fully and was released back in Kentucky in December, weighing 73.5 pounds. She was a very memorable cub as well. We often put logs in the swimming pool for when the cubs are small. They go in there, they have something to grab to get out. And she liked to remove those logs, worked very hard for a while, and finally got a log out of the pool. And it was a lot of fun for folks to watch her. Bear number 278 was admitted on August the 28th. This was a 7-month-old cub weighing just 7.8 pounds. Now think about this. This is August, the end of August. This is a cub of the year, 7 months old, and she weighed less than 8 pounds. So this was a really malnourished, starving cub. She was found orphaned in Carter County, Tennessee, just severely dehydrated and anemic, and actually died during the examination at the University of Tennessee Veterinary Medical Center. She was so weak. Bear number 279 came in on September the 4th. She and her sibling were hit by a car in Claiborne County, Tennessee. Her sibling died, and this little 33-pound female was injured and underwent surgery for a fractured mandible, tongue laceration, and an anal tear. And in fact, her mandible had to be wired together, and she spent several weeks in the recovery center, and those were some painful injuries for her. She was released in December, weighing 100 pounds. Now, an interesting thing about this bear was the veterinarian in Claiborne County actually examined her before she came here and got to UT, and made a comment about thinking that this was a male bear whose testicles had not dropped. So the name Dash was given thinking that 279 was a male. And when she got to UT, of course, and came out of the crate, it was discovered she was a female. But we left her with the unique name of Dash because, as you know, the curators, we refer to them as by number anyway. But that's why the unusual name for a female bear who was initially thought to have been a male. Bear number 280, Persimmon, was admitted on October the 20th. This was a 9-month-old cub from Sevier County, Tennessee, that was hit by a car, and she had fractured ribs, severe lung contusions. Her lungs just looked a mess. I remember that on the x-ray, and a gash on her forehead. So she had a very painful recovery, some painful injuries, but she was almost 75 pounds, so very healthy bear, and what had been doing quite well out there but until she was hit by a car. She did recover and was released in early December and weighed 103 pounds at her release. The final bear admitted in 2018 came in on October 28th. This was a female 9-month-old cub that was hit by a car on the spur in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. This is a spot that is particularly difficult. We see a lot of bears hit in this area. She had multiple serious injuries and was suffering. And I remember being at UT with this little bear, and the vets, they had just done some x-rays on her, and they were just rattling off injury after injury after injury. And I remember just holding my hand up and just saying, stop. Because it was obvious this little bear was suffering and wasn't going to recover. So her broken little body was just terrible. So she was humanely euthanized at the University of Tennessee Veterinary Medical Center on that same day. And that's our class of 2018. Hope you've enjoyed this walk back through ABR history.